Do you feel the pressure point or pain point of having to do everything in MCOC? Hello everybody, another video seeing out the year, and this is something that I want to talk about for a little while, especially because it was a question I put to you in the community tab. Make sure to check out the community tab for discussions. We discussed, where you feel about the game, what you feel about the game. So with Incursions, Battlegrounds, Alliance Wars, Alliance Quest, Raids coming soon, Necropolis, Challenges, Side Quest, Event Quest, Paragon Gauntlet, Special Quests, catching up with lower content that you might have missed off, Arena farming for units, farming revives, ranking up and prepping champions, mastery organization, and so much more. Do you feel a lot of pressure when it comes to doing everything in game, or at least participating in everything in game? So over the last kind of month or so, especially with new content being put out, it's been interesting to kind of get a feel for where people are at. I'll talk about where I'm currently at with the game in a minute, but it was interesting reading from friends, colleagues and stuff like that as to current feelings around getting, and pressures as well with getting rank 3 7-star champions, impacting on things like prestige. Maybe it's a case of Alliance War. Maybe it's a case of getting, difficult champions to have in your defense, and also, in attack for Battlegrounds and being as competitive as possible in Battlegrounds, especially with pressures that you might have in different alliances, depending on what their threshold scores might be. But it was definitely kind of like interesting to note where there's been pressures from different people. Or not different people, pressures, well, in some ways from different people, because it's like, look, have you got to do this? Is it so important? So one of the great problems, I say great problems, because it's a good and bad, side of things, is finding time. I think of a lot of people, depending on where you're at in the game, and I think a lot of people really use the holiday time to break away. If you weren't at work, you had some time off over around the holidays, that you were able to play a lot. And same thing with me, it was nice to kind of like just sit back on the sofa and without having to kind of go, okay, I must live stream, is at least be close to the someone that I care about, and also kind of like get some content done. And of course that particular bit of content to get done was something that I had to get done. And that's that word had, like I had to get it done. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. With the Road to the Crypt, it did put a lot of pressure onto players in order to kind of get it done. Obviously, that concludes in about a week and a bit's time, or 2 weeks' time, actually, to be exact with that. But I do still feel the pressure of going like, first of all, there was pressure to get a rank 5 6-star, so I had to do Necropolis. The same way do Eternity of Pain. The same way that it's kind of like the pressure of going, okay, well, I have to 100% by January. January 2024. I have to 100% Necropolis. Why? Well, it's getting Valiant. Like, look, the carrot has been dangled. The meta rewards have been dangled. And if you don't know that reference, it's a case of like, if you dangle a carrot in front of a donkey, the donkey's going to move towards it. That's the kind of like the age-old saying that it is. The same thing with me. Once a year, if you dangle red wine and chocolate in front of my face, I will go and grab it. So if you like that one rather than the donkey, example. But I have to get it done. Like I have to 100% Necropolis, because it's the only way at the moment to get Valiant. Why do I need to be Valiant? Well, people are making gains with the Paragon, the Valiant daily crystals that are kind of like escape, but they're improving their roster. The same way that the rewards missed out from Road to the Crypt have to be done, because they are beneficial for my roster. They're beneficial to remain competitive or somewhat competitive within things like Battlegrounds. So there's always a lot of pressure when it comes to that. And the big thing, like as I said, to go back to, is time. Having the time to do a lot of other things as well. Time in which to go and do Battlegrounds is the first thing, to kind of get meta rewards to, again, remain relevant. And of course, getting things to then spend in the Battleground store. So you get 7-star shards. One of the things about evolving from 6 stars to 7 stars as a main part of a Paragon to Valiant processing roster is to get 7-star shards. Whether or not you're getting some of those from, Battlegrounds, whether or not you're doing some of the current content, or whether or not you're doing Alliance Wars based participation in order to get that 7-star that you get once every X amount of days. The same way, in the same kind of like thought process is with Incursions. You want 7-star shards, and especially if you're a non-spending player, you have to figure out a way to do everything. Are you getting enough 7-star shards in Event Quest and or Paragon and Paragon Gauntlet and the side quest? Probably not. right? So it means you've got to go elsewhere to grab a lot more. That will put you into things like incursions, whether or not you're doing sector 6, and as well you're using your incursion artifacts in order to buy a 7-star incursion artifact crystal, depending if some of the champions within there are something that you want. And that just, just kind of like strips the surface of kind of going out to get this stuff. The same way as well for non-spending players, they're going to have to think about Kabam's changing things when it comes to offers. If you go and wait for Act 8.4 to finish, there will be an offer within it. It may be getting you another opportunity based on the deal, based on the rewards, to get another rank 3 7-star. Are there going to be any other places or ways for you to get, apart from doing Necropolis 100%, and as well the half that you got from Cyber Weekend, more rank 3 7-star materials if you're a free-to-play player? No, it doesn't look like it at this moment. So, look, pressures are there. But of course, it's a point of going, look, my particular experience of where I'm at the game, it may not align with everyone else's. It's down to a personal perspective of what you want to chase. My short-term goal is to, by January, 100% Necropolis, and this isn't the case like I'm kind of like, it might seem like I'm kind of like complaining about it, but this is the problem of, look, if there were more meta-based rewards in some of these various different types of areas, it may be a case that, like, it would feel easier to kind of like stay up there with everybody else, and it's not. There's still a case of like Wales will always be that kind of right out in front, and that's always going to be the case, even though Kabam give that kind of opinion that oh well, no, we don't give access to those players very early on, that they don't get early access to rank 3 7-stars. Yeah, well, how many spenders now are sitting on at least 3 rank 3 7-stars? It's not non-spending, it's not them. It is case it's spenders, or not spenders per se, it's whales that are kind of like having allocation to that. So yeah, I think at times like it's pretty tough. You have to work hard. But look, we'll go to the positives, because there are always positives from this, and that is, yeah, try and that's something I've had to learn over the last, say, few days, is to kind of go, okay, well, let's target things in a smaller way and go, look, what do I want to make? Where do I want to go in the short term? And allocate what I need to. Units, resources. Is that where I want to go? But look, as I said, it's not just about me. There's people within this community that have different thought processes and feelings, and this is when it's kind of, it's good because we all learn, where we're currently at. So Kal-El says it's gone to a point where there's so much different content and the pressure to do everything kind of faded away, and now it just feels nice to do the content that I feel like doing. Yeah, okay. Again, it's down to you how you feel about this. I'm free to play since 2016, and I've explored Abyss, done the last path in Necropolis, fair play. I love the game despite its frustrations. I often feel, especially with those mega whale offers, I don't feel pressured, but rather I feel that I want to show that everything can be done without spending money. I'm extremely proud to have 4 million plus account with 20k prestige and in the top Plat 1 Alliance. Fantastic. That is that. But then again, this is down to like, how much time do people invest in this particular grind? Because I don't have as much time to kind of get, a lot of this stuff done. I'm going to give you an example. So the Banquet Event guide that I created was 10 hours worth of work. The subsequent videos that came from that, so not just the spreadsheet was 10 hours. And the rest of the work that I put into kind of the videos after that, probably a further 10 to 15 hours. So whilst I'm doing that, I am not grinding stuff in game. So it's always a case of you've got to find a balancing act, and as well, got to make gains. Honestly, I've always been and will continue to be a free-to-play. Yeah, that means I'm probably never a top player, but that's fine since I just want to have fun. At the end of the day, this year's Banquet Event was actually helped quite a lot expanding my roster. Would love to get a 6-star Venom someday, though. That's fair play. Fair play. Just glad this game is around and I'm able to choose a couple of game modes I enjoy and chill. And that's interesting, isn't it? Because I know there's a lot of people that are casual within this game, so fair play. Only pressure when I feel I'm missing something like the Necropolis completion run, but then stuff like Banquet Event drops in such underwhelming rewards that you wonder why you would do things like grind units. And I'd say that it's probably, yeah, no, I do agree with that, because then, as I said, Kabam gave the impression that it was like, oh, spenders don't get, to grab another rank 3, but you could have, if you wanted to, complete Necropolis and complete Necropolis and as well kind of spend and Cyber Weekend, the cash, the unit cash, and kind of like made gains. So look, there's yeah, I've talked about it in the past. Not going to go back to that. I think largely depends on what the person's, and this is good, person's goal is. My goal is to play for a Masters Alliance one day, although being free to play, that seems more of a fetched, and would be at least like to move to a Plat Ally. To get that stage, I have no other option but to play everything at least that my opinion is important, such as BG's Alliance War Story and the recent editions of Necropolis. While I'm fine with doing all of that, I just think I no longer have a good balance between work, this is important, work life, and the game. Yeah, I kind of, I get that, especially stuff like Necropolis Road to the Crypt, having time limits on it. Yes, I felt pressure. I had to find some time. I found some time. Yeah. I've only ever bought a 99p crystal, which was an offer. I remember that. That was a good one. I have only felt pressure when playing in an alliance and lacking the skill to clear the path AQ8W. Now I'm Paragon and will get Valiant at some point, but I don't feel like I have to be at the forefront to complete with the whales. I'm happy to beat them in BG, though. Smiley face, and I'd stick it out the tongue there. Yeah, I mean, for me, the difficulty is, you know, being an MCOC YouTuber, I do get asked a lot of time, like, oh, when are you going to do this? Why haven't you done this? And I guess that's the thing of being, I try as best I can to be the forefront to kind of get everything done. And of course, that's something that I guess in some ways, this is the kind of like a bias for me being free to play. And also, and I think, you know, with Brian Grant, like people were saying, Brian Grant, when you're free, why aren't you doing your run now? Look, if you're highly skilled and free to play, then fair play, you know, fair play. But if you're not, you know, I'm getting on, you know, Brian Grant's getting on, we're all getting on the age. So it's always trying to kind of like, you know, be as relevant as possible, doing the most relevant things. And sometimes it's just not possible to do that. Should I have gone on day one in Necropolis? Probably. Did I not? No. Did I want to pressure myself into doing it? No. Would it have been more ill-advised to do that? More than likely. As a free-to-play, I think it would be nice to add more events like Banquet, because this is easily the best place to spend your units. Only spent 3k, like myself, got like 12 6 stars, 10 mil gold, leveled up around 3 6 stars, etc. And only the beginning as a Cavalier, this is really helpful. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. If for anything lower than Paragon, I think, and even Valiant as well, Valiant and Paragon, you would have got a lot of decent value from the Banquet event. And this is something I said in the past, that maybe Command should have done like an objective also. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. I'd say I feel pressure not to let my alliance down. I feel that as well. I run as a gold 3 T8 alliance, and we do map 6 and 3 BG of both. Definitely feel great amount of pressure to do war and alliance quests. That seems like the best way for the smaller guys in the alliance to grow. I guess alliance raids are going to be another kind of factor to that. Recently, with the decrease in solo rewards, I haven't done much Battlegrounds, and I feel no pressure to play Arena at all. I do, however, feel great pressure to do all endgame content. Fair play. I can try and keep an eye edge for my boys. Gotcha. Complete week 1, Necro week 1, 100% 8.3 week 1, but still feel like I'm well behind the rest of the pack. I mean, I feel the same. I'm even a month late on Necropolis, but yeah, I get it. Have we seen Stubbsy before? Probably have, but I'll read it again. Don't let myself succumb to the pressure. I do things on my own pace, my own capabilities. If I miss out on something because I'm either not skilled enough, have the right champions, then that motivates you to grind to become better, not the cost of my sanity. I hope that makes sense. It does. So yeah, like, it's all about bettering yourself. I get where players are at, especially new players. If you're a new player to the game, when you're seeing all this content, don't feel like it's over the top. Don't feel scared about what you've seen. Keep going. You know, there's different pressures for different people. As I've kind of like illustrated mine's kind of from a perspective of, you know, working, because I work full time, and in the evenings and the weekends, YouTube channel is kind of like what I focus on. A lot of time that does take a lot away from my kind of farming stuff in game. So yeah, it's all about kind of like trying to do as much as possible with the time that you have and setting targets. And I'm going to have to work on that, I think, I might take a bit of a chill time in January to 100% Necropolis and have that as my focus, but we'll see. We'll see with that one. Right, read out a few more. But yeah, this is an amazing thread. There's lots. Honestly, there's a lot. We'll just have to kind of like randomly kind of like, you know, switch through stuff because yeah, like there's a lot of kind of like interesting thought process on this. So yeah, I do feel pressure to do anything in the game that involves other people, like Battlegrounds, Alliance Wars, because it always feels unfair as the opponent is a lot stronger than me, just because they're spending. Even in BG, whenever I match with someone, I see multiple rank 2s and rank 3s, 7 stars, I'm assuming. So discouraging, because I am doing everything possible in the game to achieve those rewards to get as high as possible. Then anyone that can get them is just spending. Yeah, now this is obviously the other side of things. I do agree with that. That's kind of like, I would say it's where I'm at, because I've got respect and time for it. I just don't have respect and time when Kabam kind of claim that it's not a case of spending to get. You can't get early access to stuff by spending, and it's quite obvious that is indeed the case. Free to play here, as well as a year-old Paragon, I'd say I have fun, especially with champs I've never got my hands on, but I'm a completionist, so doing endgame content like Abyss and Necropolis are on my list currently. 100%, 8.1, 8.2, doing 7 for 7 challenge, not upgrade Guillotine 2099 for the newer challenge, but still don't have a 5 or 6 Hercules. M picked up that, she got very lucky with that one. Mostly Valiant and Necropolis, and also 7-star rank ups. I guess it's the pressure that you might kind of like have. Free to play, and except for arena grind units, I don't think it should change. Not really the feels optional, gets more options than better options. I mean, look, here's the thing, like pressured when revive farming is nerfed, please bring it back. Yeah, I feel, yeah. Like, so, you know, for me, it's a case of like, I've got over the last couple of days or few days, just getting that 1,697 units, and it's like, it's so important because those units, because of time and because Kabam are going to nerf the revive farming thing, which I've barely done of it. That's not even proper English. I'm going to use that into my plan is, or my kind of aim is, to always use more than the 20,000 units. So basically, always try and keep the 20,000 units. That's my personal challenge. Anything that I've put on top of it, farming wise, unit farming wise, that's fine. That can go. I always want to keep that 20k, or at least a good chunk of it. If I need to drop down, I would see it as a bit of a failure. So I've created a mini challenge for myself. Those units are going to be important this year, with Valiant being the go-to, the premier progression, which I'm hoping to have by end of January. It's then going to be a case of that, yes, I feel accomplished, and maybe that's the thing that Kabam was wanting to kind of like aim for us to have, that kind of like accomplishment, right? And then by the end of the year, the deals, July 2024 deals, hopefully will be better as a result. Cyber Weekend 2024, hopefully better based on progression. Valiant being the key one. And then finally, when it comes to the Banquet Event. And I want to be able to be as competitive as possible within that. Will it mean a lot more unit farming? Yes. Are there better ways to kind of like grab the milestones? More than likely. How? And that will be a case of boosting, using those boosts to the best of my ability, getting as many units this year, doing it from a free-to-play standpoint and seeing what I can achieve, and that will be the plan. So this video has gone on a little bit longer than maybe I wanted, and apologies to not get everybody's kind of like points in, because it was an interesting read. I had a good chance to read through this, and as well kind of like as well for the video. A few more kind of things from people. We'll try and round this up before the video ends. Honestly, I've always been and will continue to be free to play. That means I'll probably never be a top player. I think a lot of people are saying this, since I just want to have fun. At the end of the day, this year's Banquet Event was actually helped quite a lot in expanding it's like somebody said the same thing. Well, that's good. If that helps, it helps. Pretty much here's my rules. I'll play Battlegrounds casually until I get bored. It's no longer available. I'm platinum free as right now. Units are fun, random, cav, Banquet Event, or revives. I'll spend money here and there when I can afford it. Do the side quest if it's worth my time. Eventually defeat Grandmaster sometime in 2024. Fair play. I got them do before Throne Break. After that, I'm done with pursuing story content. That's all I do in game besides the help button. Well, fair play. People enjoy this game as a casual. Rated unit, basically all things are bad rewards and other rewards related to the events, which is often, and basic rewards are bad, and arena rewards are difficult to get by lower players. I guess it's a case of like what you grind. I feel pressured for sure. Ever since new content comes out, has better rewards than the existing one. Glory shot buff, war rank rewards buff, BG rewards and stuff. I chip in best I can, but honestly, I just do not play BG seriously till Kabam adds some extra rewards in the solo milestone. Yeah, I agree with that one. I agree with that. AQ, I do my part. Then there's Arena and Necropolis. I do feel pressure, but I still don't play. Well, that's good. It's good to kind of like not build into that pressure. But yeah. And we'll just end with Jaya's here. And again, sorry to everybody that I've kind of like, as I want to get as much thought process as possible from people. I myself face problems as a free-to-play player. Like half the PPL have started to spend, people have started to spend, and their rosters are too good, too big, which is very difficult for us to win against them in Battlegrounds. Yeah, okay. I get it. I really get it with this stuff because, look, some people will feel pressure, some people don't. Some people enjoy the certain game a certain way, others don't. And as I said, this is all about Kabam creating an ecosystem, which is allowing players to feel like they can feel accomplished, first and foremost. Yes, offering different areas for players to go, but at the same time, allow that if there's meta rewards that are put in different types of areas, then it doesn't feel like so much of a loss. If it's like, okay, well, if I just do this, then I don't feel I'll lose that in other places. For me, it's a case of like, I feel that there's a lot of stuff I need to do. Obviously, a lot of stuff I need to cover, especially when doing a YouTube channel, playing the game, working full time, and also trying to have a relationship with somebody. So there's always these things to kind of like, there is pressures, but I guess it's a case of like managing said pressures, making a plan, which I think is the important thing, making a plan of where and what you need to do and executing that. So as I said, my short-term plan is to 100% Necropolis by the end of January, and that's my mini target. I've set up like a mini target within that going, okay, use X amount of units if I need to, try and farm as many revives as possible, and kind of trying to invest in that particular run by that means, because Kabam are going to obviously nerf revive farming. So in any case, what is everyone else's thoughts that didn't come out to the community tab? Thanks to everybody in the community tab for their feedback. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, and check out some other content. And there may be one more video today and one video tomorrow before getting back to it at the end of the week. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.